Hi, my name is Denise Dalton, and I'm the Division Chair for Student Services at Lamont High School. The purpose of this video is to explain the course selection process for the class of 2021. In general, our students will all take 8 credits each year while they are at Lamont High School. Generally, freshman students will be taking 5.5 required courses, which means that they'll have room for 2.5 elective credits during their freshman year. Some of this will be adjusted for students based on their placement in reading or math or resource or freshman academy. So generally speaking, our freshmen will have 2.5 elective credits, but that varies based on student needs. In general, students will take 32 credits over the course of their 4 years of high school. So if there doesn't seem like there's a lot of time in the freshman year to take electives, please trust me that by the time you get to be seniors, you have plenty of time to take electives in all of the courses that you wish. Our placement information was based on the test scores that the students had submitted to us in the fall. For all students, it included the Explore test, but for some students, it also included the MAP scores from the public elementary schools. The departments took that placement information and they're making course recommendations in math, English, science, as well as social studies. In addition to those 4 courses, we do have requirements for a 1-semester PE course, 1 semester of health, and then 1 semester of business and technology concepts. Outside of those requirements, we have electives in a variety of areas. The first one that I want to highlight is world languages. There is not a graduation requirement for world languages in order to graduate from Lamont High School. However, many colleges and universities do have a world language requirement for admissions. So for our college-bound students, we do recommend that students take 2 years of the same foreign language at some point during their high school. That doesn't necessarily need to start during the freshman year. Students might elect to take German or French or Spanish or sign language in their sophomore year as well as their junior year. Or if they really want to wait until their junior year, they still have time to take world languages during junior and senior year and meet that 2-year admission requirement. But again, world language is not required for high school graduation. We do require that students take 2 credits in fine arts before they graduate from Lamont High School. So we think that the freshman year is a perfect time to get started with that kind of study. We have electives for freshmen in music, theater, as well as in the traditional art courses. We have opportunities for students in career and technology education. There's courses in family and consumer science. There's computers, robotics, business, and then an industrial tech course. These are great hands-on courses, and often they can be an excellent break in the day instead of having a core academic course. We have courses that will provide academic support who need it. For students who have an individualized educational plan, students might be scheduled for a resource. But students who do not have an IEP that also need some academic assistance could elect to go into our Freshman Academy program, and I'll explain that shortly. Lastly, for elective options, if a freshman student is going to turn 15 before the first day of second semester of their freshman year, they are eligible to take driver's education. We recognize that this is a family decision, so it is an option for students who will be turning 15 before the start of second semester, but it certainly isn't anything that we would make a freshman take. So all students will take it before they graduate, but if they are old enough, they do have the option to take it in the freshman year. So Freshman Academy is designed to help students who need a little bit of extra help in transitioning from middle school to high school. The transition can be difficult for students, both academically and in terms of organizing 8 courses. So the Academy program is designed to give students the additional time and the additional support that they need to be successful. It's taught during the school day. It's a pass-fail course, but it does earn a credit towards graduation. Freshmen are allowed to be in this course. We do recommend it for students based on test scores. However, if there are circumstances that you think that this would be a great opportunity for your student, certainly talk to the counselor and we can make those adjustments for you. So in general, that class focuses on getting the academic assistance students need, but it also focuses on the organizational skills, the study skills, and the self-advocacy skills that we want students to develop while in high school. If your son or daughter is in band, that is a credit and a half of electives. And the way that works is in the first semester, students are taking the band, they're enrolled in the band program during 3rd period on both gold and blue days. So from 11 until 12:30, both days for the fall semester, they're in the band program. In second semester, that drops back to just being on one of the 2 days. So it's just a traditionally scheduled class during the second semester. But in the first semester, it's what we call double blocked. So that does take up a credit and a half of electives. And for some students, that might cause a little bit of stress because that might be all of the elective options that one has. If that's the case and your son or daughter does want to participate in the band program, please talk to the counselor and they can make adjustments and defer some courses until the sophomore year and make it work for your son or daughter. We want every student to have the opportunity to participate in the band program while still getting their graduation requirements met. So there are ways that we can do that. An additional option for band students is the jazz band. Jazz band meets at 7 a.m. each day. Students need to have their own transportation to get to school, but participating in the jazz band would allow students to earn a 9th credit towards graduation. On January 28th, we're inviting all of our incoming freshmen and their families to come to the Performing Arts Center entrance between the hours of 9 and noon to drop off their registration information. So this would include the course selection form, all of the proofs of residency that show that you are a resident of District 210, an original birth certificate. We will make a copy for you and give you your original back, but we do need to see an original birth certificate, any other demographic forms or second family forms that you might need to turn into us, and then if possible, a copy of the student's most updated immunization records. Full physicals, freshman physicals and immunizations are required in August. However, if you have any preliminary paperwork that we could take at that point, we can start getting that information entered into our system. On the morning of January 28th in the Performing Arts Center, Tina Malik, our curriculum director, will be hosting an information session at 9:30 a.m. to talk about the placement process and give some additional information that might help you make a decision if you receive the placement information and you disagree with the placement recommendations that we've made. The information that she's going to provide is some statistical information on how students who have used waivers to get out of our placements have done before. And then she's going to explain the process a little bit further. But in general, if you attend that session at 9:30 in the morning on January 28th, following that session, all of the academic department chairs could sit down and meet with you individually to look at your son or daughter's test scores, talk to you a little bit about their history with the subject area, and then hopefully we can come to an agreement and make a decision about changing a placement if needed. If the date of January 28th is impossible, we do ask you to bring all of the paperwork to Lamont High School during normal business hours before January 31st. Starting in February, we begin to build the schedule for the fall. And in order to make sure that students get the best opportunity to get their first choices in electives, we do ask that you turn in those forms by January 31st. I want to demonstrate on our school website where to find some more information that would be helpful for you. Our school website is lhs210.net. And if you go down on the right, there's a button that says 2017-2018 course selection. Clicking on there takes you to information that applies to the incoming class as well as our current students. So if you want to get a sneak peek at what would be coming for the sophomore, junior, or senior year, all of this information is here as well. On the right-hand side, there's a series of important links. It gives the forms that are available for our course selections and a sample form for the freshmen. In early January, you'll receive a personalized form that's going to have your child's name. It's going to have the specific placements that were made in English, math, science, and social studies. It's going to have the scores that these placements are based upon, and then an area for you to write down which elective options you choose. Down at the bottom of the form, it lists out all of the elective choices. Again, it's the business courses, the family and consumer science, industrial tech, driver's education, English, special education for students who have an individualized educational plan, the world languages, and then all of our fine arts programs. And the back of the page, the placement page, will have an explanation of how our placement criteria are met. So that's just a sample form that's available here. Your personalized form will go home to you in January. There's a sample of our waiver form, and this is what would be filled out with the department chairs and returned to us on January 28th. And then here, I think, is probably the most helpful, the 2017-2018 Program of Studies. This is a link to all of the information about all of our courses. So if you click on the complete Program of Studies, that will take you to a listing of every course that we offer. But if you don't want to know all of that information and you just want to highlight the Career and Technical Education Department, for example, you just click here. And it takes you to a page that explains the philosophy of the department and then gives you all of the different courses that are available in alphabetical order. It gives you what grade levels those courses are open to. So if you scroll down and see a course that's available for 9th graders, like computer applications, you can read what that's all about. Same thing with desktop publishing. And then if you continue to scroll down, you can find information about our web design courses, our family and consumer science survey courses, and then finally our industrial tech orientation to industrial technology course. All of those are our career and technology opportunities that are there for freshmen. But you can go through the rest of the program of studies and learn a little bit more about our courses. So also, if you want to watch this again, the link to this video will be posted down here as well.